Have you ever wondered how many historical and cultural stories are hidden behind a steaming bowl of Japanese ramen? Today on the CHIU Style channel, we'll take you on a journey through time to explore the origins of Japanese ramen, from its beginnings to its global charm. We'll also share a special vegetarian kimchi ramen recipe, so you can easily whip up a delicious fusion of Asian flavors right at home. I'm the host of CHIU Style. Are you ready? Let's dive into the world of ramen together. Let's start with the origins of ramen. As early as the late 17th century during the Edo period, when Japan was still in isolation, some Chinese immigrants and Ming Dynasty loyalists quietly brought noodle culture with them. Their shina soba or chuka soba featured light broth, chewy noodles, and simple toppings like scallions and char siu pork. It was a novel delicacy at the time. By the Meiji era, with the opening of ports and the rise of Chinatowns, ramen began integrating into Japanese food culture. It was no longer just Chinese style, it incorporated Japanese elements like miso and soy sauce, gradually evolving into a unique Japanese flavor. It's like a cross-border culinary adventure. Ramen transformed from a foreign guest into a beloved staple for the Japanese people. At this point, aren't you curious how ramen became Japan's national dish? Let's keep going. In 1910, Yokohama's Rarikan opened its doors, widely regarded as the first true Japanese ramen shop, marking the era when ramen evolved from street food to dedicated storefronts. After World War II, amid Japan's economic hardships, the U.S. military brought in large quantities of wheat flour, making ramen inexpensive and easy to prepare. It became a lifeline for the working class. A steaming bowl of ramen not only filled empty stomachs but also brought warmth and hope. From that point on, ramen solidified its status as a national dish, becoming an indispensable part of Japanese food culture. These historical fragments show us how ramen chronicles the changing times. Next, let's explore ramen's cultural significance and why it's much more than just a bowl of noodles. In Japan, ramen is hailed as a microcosm of life and philosophy. Sounds pretty profound, right? A bowl of ramen consists of 5 basic elements: broth, noodles, oil, toppings, and seasoning. These can be freely combined like an artistic creation, pursuing infinite possibilities within a limited framework. This is a perfect embodiment of the Japanese artisan spirit. For example, tonkatsu broth requires simmering for over 10 hours to extract its rich, gelatinous texture. The thickness of the noodles, the arrangement of toppings, and even the thunder or dragon patterns on the bowl all carry symbolic meanings of warding off evil and praying for a bountiful harvest. Ramen is more than just food, it carries culture and emotion. From a quick meal for post-war laborers to a healing moment for modern people dining alone, ramen reflects the evolution of Japanese society and its human warmth. Speaking of which, you might be wondering, are there any special customs when eating ramen? Let's talk about ramen dining culture. Ramen belongs to Japan's everyday fast food culture, emphasizing enjoy it hot and fast. Walk into a ramen shop, and you'll notice everyone slurping their noodles loudly. This isn't rude in Japan, on the contrary, it's a sign of appreciation for the chef's craftsmanship, showing that you value the food's freshness and heat. Interestingly, ramen is usually not paired with tea but with a glass of ice water. Why? Ice water neutralizes the saltiness of the rich broth, helps cool you down, and prevents the noodles from getting soggy if soaked too long. Even in winter, shops provide ice water to ensure you experience ramen at its peak flavor. Moreover, Japanese ramen shops typically prohibit bringing in outside drinks to maintain the purity of the food's taste and consistency and etiquette. These little details turn eating ramen into a unique experience. From dining culture to social impact, let's see next how ramen has transformed Japan. Ramen is Japan's second most popular national dish, right after sushi, and it contributes immensely to local economies and tourism. For example, Sapporo's miso ramen is famous for its rich broth, Hakuda's tonkatsu ramen has a milky white soup, and Kitakata's soy sauce ramen draws fans with its refreshing taste. These regional ramens have become local brands, attracting countless tourists and boosting travel economies. A single bowl of ramen can become a tourism highlight. How amazing is that? Beyond that, ramen has permeated pop culture, appearing in manga like The Goddess of the Line, ramen sayuki or films like Tampopo, using ramen to tell stories of human warmth and life philosophy. The Shin-Yokohama Ramen Museum, opened in 1994, has turned ramen into a cultural industry, drawing huge crowds and generating impressive revenue every year. All of this shows that ramen hasn't just changed eating habits, it's shaped Japan's social landscape. Now, let's turn our focus to modern life. Ramen is no longer just a meal, it's a symbol of pop culture and social experience. Many ramen shops break the traditional masculine image with stylish interior design, upbeat music, and women-friendly spaces, making ramen a dish for everyone to enjoy. Imagine eating ramen with friends, chatting away in that warm atmosphere. Doesn't it sound wonderful? However, with rising health awareness, ramen's high sodium content has raised concerns. Long-term intake may increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. As a result, modern people are seeking healthier options, like low-sodium broths or vegetarian ramen. This leads us to wonder, how can ramen continue to evolve in the age of health consciousness? The answer may lie in the wave of internationalized ramen. Ramen is now one of Japan's soft power representatives. From Paris and London to New York, and even South Africa and Brazil, you can find Japanese ramen shops. The ramen boom that began in the 1990s symbolizes the youthful and innovative spirit of Japanese brands. International ramen has started blending local elements, using French-style stocks, Italian olive oil, or even vegan and sustainable concepts, making ramen the ultimate ambassador of Japanese cuisine's globalization. Seeing this, are you starting to crave some ramen? Hold on, CHIU Style is about to share a special recipe so you can easily make Asian fusion ramen at home, featuring my specially recommended kimchi-flavored seasoning. Speaking of this recipe, I'd like to highlight my kimchi-flavored seasoning, a blend that instantly adds the tangy, spicy kick of Korean kimchi to any dish. It pairs especially well with Japanese ramen. Why? Because Japan has embraced the concept of kimchi ramen since the 1980s, you can find it everywhere from convenience stores to instant cup noodles. The combination of ramen's rich flavor with kimchi's sour spicy punch has long captured hearts across Asia, creating a truly fusion-style comfort food. Today, I'm sharing my version, Kimchi-style Onsen Tofu Ramen, a healthy, allium-free, plant-based ramen that perfectly embodies CHIU Style's creative spirit. This dish uses kombu broth as the base, enhanced with my kimchi-flavored seasoning to replace traditional spicy aromatics and fermented kimchi. The result is a balanced, tangy spicy broth enriched with silky tofu and fresh vegetables, a modern, health-forward ramen with a touch of fermentation-inspired depth. It serves 2 and takes about 30 minutes to prepare. You'll need 2 portions of ramen noodles, 1 pack of soft tofu, 100 g of shiitake or shimeji mushrooms, 2 stalks of bok choy or baby bok choy, 3 tablespoons of corn kernels, 1 teaspoon sesame oil, 1.5 tablespoons soy sauce, 100 milliliters plant-based milk, like soy or oat milk, 2 to 2.5 teaspoons of my kimchi-flavored seasoning, adjust to taste, 1 piece of dried kombu, about 10 centimeters, and 600 milliliters water. Steps. 1. Make the broth, soak kombu in water for 20 minutes, then bring to a boil and remove it to create a clear base. Add mushrooms, soy sauce, and kimchi seasoning. Simmer for 5 minutes to let the aroma and spice meld into the broth. 2. Add a creamy layer, pour in the plant-based milk and sesame oil, stirring gently over low heat until the soup turns a light orange hue, rich, smooth, and fragrant. 3. Prepare tofu and vegetables, warm the tofu gently in the broth without boiling to keep it silky. Blanch bok choy and corn separately, the corn adds natural sweetness. 4. Cook the noodles. In a separate pot, cook the ramen until about 80% done, then drain and place in serving bowls to maintain a springy texture. 5. Assemble. Pour the hot broth and tofu over the noodles, top with bok choy and corn, and finish with a light sprinkle of kimchi-flavored seasoning for garnish. And there you have it, a bowl of vibrant, aromatic kimchi-style vegetarian ramen that's both nourishing and full of character. With my kimchi-flavored seasoning, you can easily recreate authentic Asian flavors right at home. Give it a try, and share your results in the comments below. From the history of Japanese ramen to this creative recipe, we've explored together how ramen evolved from a humble Edo period snack into a global cultural icon. Thank you for watching this episode of CHIU Style. If you enjoyed this culinary journey, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you'll be the first to get more stories about food and creative recipes. See you next time. CHIU Style will always be here to explore the delicious world with you.